WNEM TV5 starts right now with breaking news.
That breaking news out of Lewiston, Maine. At least 22 people killed in multiple mass shootings. The Androscoggin County Sheriff's Office investigating active scenes at 2 locations. One is a bar and grill restaurant, the other a bowling alley. Sources indicate as many as 5 dozen people were injured, though it's unclear how many were injured due to gunfire. Police have released these images of a man they believe to be involved in the deadly shootings. The gunman reportedly is still on the loose. We'll keep you updated as this story unfolds. And more breaking news, the United Auto Workers Union and Ford reaching a tentative contract agreement. The UAW announcing the development this evening on day 40 of the strike against Ford, General Motors and Stellantis, each of which have faced targeted strikes of specific plants since the middle of last month. President Shawn Fain cited the stepped-up pressure against the automakers, with workers walking out of a profitable GM assembly plant in Texas on Monday. That was followed by a walkout yesterday in Sterling Heights at a Stellantis plant.
Ford knew what was coming for them on Wednesday if we didn't get a deal. That was checkmate.
The UAW's elected leadership will vote Sunday on whether to send the agreement to Ford's 50,000 UAW members. The agreement does not have a direct effect on strikes at GM and Stellantis, but this could step up pressure to get deals done with their workers.
And the weather tonight, fairly quiet. We have had a few showers, some drizzle pass through, but nothing that's terribly heavy up to this point. And it looks like as we move into tomorrow, we may have some heavier showers to deal with than what we had today. Now we take a look at your first alert pinpoint Doppler radar tonight, showing you that most of it at this point is just light shower activity. We've had a little drizzle off to the north. I know downtown Saginaw has seen its fair share tonight where we are. We've also had a few areas like Caro report drizzle from time to time, and I'm sure there's more between the reporting stations, but certainly not as heavy as some of the showers that passed through earlier today. Those, in the grand scheme of things, also weren't downpours, but certainly coming down at a better rate than what we're seeing pass through tonight. Now, your sky tracker shows plenty of cloud cover in addition to the rain. So today, not our nicest day, and temperatures certainly got knocked backwards a little bit this afternoon. We were still mild. We were still above average, but not quite the weather of Tuesday. A look at Birch Run tonight. Roads are clearly wet here, so likely some drizzle at the very least ongoing, or at least over the last couple of hours. Upper 50s and low 60s for tonight. So mild for the time of year, but still cool and also comfortable. And it looks like as we head through tomorrow, we won't see those temperatures drop much tonight, so we'll likely see another mild day. We're at least 5 to 10 degrees cooler in many spots compared to this time last night, so that's the biggest change. Our winds are still southwesterly. Until they turn northwesterly later this week, we will not see the cooler air move in. Your next 12 hours shows showers and drizzle will remain possible, and another round of rain tomorrow. We'll take a look at that coming up.
Chris, thank you. A proposed new graduation requirement for Michigan high school students. Raven Blue has more on how legislation aims to tie diplomas to college financial aid.
It's beneficial to complete a FAFSA. And so it's really hard to say, because it's hard that fine line of how can you best help students get to the next step without hindering students that have no interest in doing it.
As thousands of Michigan high school seniors prepare for graduation and the next chapter of their lives, newly proposed legislation may add another requirement they will have to meet before they can graduate, and that's filling out a federal student aid application, or as it's more commonly known as, FAFSA.
We also encourage that FAFSA filing so they have a full picture of the financial, the piece, so they can make an educated decision on college.
State Senator Darren Camilleri has sponsored a bill that would require all high school seniors to fill out a FAFSA in order to graduate. Legislation Dr. Chrissy McDonald, Director of Financial Aid at Northwood University, says could be a double-edged sword.
I think we need to pay attention to the fact that, Indiana and Illinois have enforced it and they've seen a decrease in graduation rates from high school.
Dr. McDonald fears a similar thing could happen in Michigan, but acknowledges there is a potential positive side to the bill.
Because once you complete that FAFSA, you're going to see what you qualify for. And if they see Pell Grant right away, they might say, hey, actually might be feasible to go to college. After all,
students can obtain a waiver if they are ineligible or if their parent chooses not to fill out the form. Dr. McDonald says it would be better to have students fill out the FAFSA as a requirement to enroll in college instead.
So you're not holding up a student who has no desire to go to college.
The bill passed through the Senate Education Education Committee Tuesday along party lines and now heads to the full Senate. Raven Blue, WNEM TV5.
A Bay City man facing charges after an overnight standoff with police. Officers were called just before midnight to a home on McGraw Street near Taylor in the South End. The 51-year-old man reportedly was threatening his neighbor with a handgun and a machete. Police say the man initially refused to come out, but eventually surrendered when state police arrived. Crime Stoppers putting out a call to help police solve a murder that happened 10 years ago today. The victim, 25-year-old Randy Johnson. He was shot while driving his Mustang around 1 in the morning at 12th and Fenton Road in Flint. Crime Stoppers is offering up to $2,500 for information leading to an arrest.
It's hurting me every day. I can't sleep because it's like a bomb dropped on me. You know, everybody, it can happen so sudden, you know.
He's among several Genesee County residents who discovered their homes are no longer theirs. A real estate investor bought a bundle of occupied homes in a tax auction in September. Among them, one formerly owned by J.D. Smith of Flint. He tells TV5 he paid off his home in 2016, but fell behind on property taxes after his wife died 3 years ago. He says last week an agent for Life Real Estate showed up at his doorstep.
He said, your house been sold. I said, what do you mean my house been sold? He said, do you still want to stay here? You got to rent it. At least $600 a month. I said, what you talking about, man? I've been here 30 years. I said, well, you don't own the house no more.
A letter from Life Real Estate gave him 7 days to try to work out an agreement or he'll face eviction. Flint Mayor Sheldon Neely is proposing the city spend $50,000 to provide legal resources for affected families. Work on expanding Flint's historic Burston Fieldhouse is officially underway. Today was the groundbreaking on a $30 million project to add football and soccer fields, a basketball court, a pool, and an amphitheater. The community hub has turned out some of Flint's top basketball and boxing talent, including Olympic and professional champion Clarissa Shields.
I just remember like Burston being like the place that was safe for me to come, you know, where I felt like my complete self.
The mastermind of the project, Bryant Nolden, a Genesee County commissioner, credited with keeping Burston alive when the city was cutting back. Nolden died in December, a passing that added a bittersweet note to the celebration of today.
It was because of his vision, it was because of his drive and his desire to make sure that we reawaken this beacon of hope that we find in Burston Fieldhouse.
The first phase of the project is expected to be complete by 2025. A new app for parents in a mid-Michigan school district. Still ahead, how it aims to keep them connected and how parents can get it on their phones. Plus, a driver enraged on a journey that's about to get more dangerous, and it was caught on camera. Next, a man with a knack at turning a Halloween favorite into a work of art.